Hello, and welcome to another one of our videos. Today's subject will be about the business of dropshipping and its history. Before we begin, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for notifications and updates on our future videos. In this video, we will be talking about the subject of the business of dropshipping and its history, and we will be discussing the following. What is dropshipping and how it works? The history of dropshipping, successful stories of dropshipping, the pros and cons of dropshipping, and steps that you can take to make it work. Let's get started. What is dropshipping? According to sources, dropshipping is a method of retail where the store never physically holds the products it sells. Instead, when the retailer sells one of its products, it stocks on its website. They buy the item from a third-party supplier who then ships the item directly to the end customer. So the online seller never actually sees, holds, or ships the item. They are effectively advertising it for the supplier, marketing up the price of the product so they can make a profit. So it's like being the middleman, really. So how does it work? To break it down, here's how the process flows. So the retailer stocks products on their website or marketplace. The retailer doesn't hold the products, they're just held by the supplier or the wholesaler, which can be anywhere in the world. And the products may cost £1, £2 per unit, while the dropshipper lists it for £4, £5, which is making a £2 profit. Or 3. When a customer orders the product from the dropshipper's website, the merchant receives a notification, and then that merchant forwards that order to the supplier, either manually or automatically, and then the supplier fulfills the order and ships it directly to the customer. And that is pretty much dropshipping. Now let's look at its history. Where did it all start? Let's go back to the 60s and 70s before the internet became mainstream. According to sources, it first kick-started in the 60s and 70s where mail order companies were taking advantage of mail order catalogs. Mail order catalogs were small booklets, received them in the mail that advertised a range of items. You could order items directly from the catalog via phone and have the company deliver it to your door. During this time, mail order companies like JCPenney and Sears used this method on a large scale. It turned out to be very profitable for them. But as they grew bigger, a problem inside of their business started to arise. With the business rapidly growing, JCPenney and Sears were struggling to keep up with the level of customer demand, and they knew they needed to find a more fast and efficient way to ship out customer orders. As a solution, JCPenney and Sears developed fulfillment warehouses that were specially designed to speed up this process. These were similar to what Amazon now calls FBA, which is Fulfillment by Amazon warehouses. Their main purpose was to store massive inventory in bulk, and the big advantage was that you could easily locate and ship out individual items customers ordered. At the time, other exclusive mail order companies like CompuCard realized a massive opportunity in using these warehouses. They thought it would be smart to list the items in the warehouse for sale in their own mail order catalog for a markup price. Then when a customer ordered an item, CompuCard would purchase the item from the fulfillment center, then have the warehouse deliver the item to the customer's address. This was how the dropshipping model came about, and it was genius. This model was now crowned the first form of major scale dropshipping. Fast forward 20 years, things started to evolve. So in the 90s, dropshipping and the dot-com bubble, here was when the internet was born. Mail order companies graduated from mail order catalogs to e-commerce stores, and online shopping was being slowly introduced to the public. With more people entering the online shopping world, the dropshipping.com bubble started to explode, and the bubble began to grow. The dot-com bubble was a period where online stores with fancy names popped out of nowhere and made huge promises to investors. These online stores convinced investors that they would make huge returns off this new thing called e-commerce. E-commerce just meaning electronic purchasing and just online shopping. Investors were sold by the idea and dropped millions of dollars on this promising investment. One of these online stores, Pets.com, was able to raise millions of dollars from these investors. But at the end of the dot-com era, they never ended up profitable, and none of the investors made a good return on their investment. Things started to take a toll when dropshipping from USA dropshippers that had become a lot more expensive over time due to increased shipping demands. And so by 2001, a lot of these stores went bankrupt as they were unsustainable, and the dot-com bubble burst. Going into the 2000 era, the rise of Amazon.com and eBay.com. Amazon and eBay revolutionized how individuals could sell online. No longer did you need to go through the technical, expensive process of creating an online store and advertising it. Now you could just list your items on the site and let them drive the traffic for you. You may have set up an account whether to purchase items on there or to sell yourself, so you see how it would work. For dropshipping, this was a huge boom, as previously it was very expensive to use dropshippers. Not only did USA dropshippers charge a lot for their items, but they had to spend an enormous amount of money during the store development and advertising phases. With no Facebook ads until 2007, the only real option to advertise was Google Ads, which was and still is very expensive. But now, Amazon and eBay advertised their website on behalf of individual sellers, which meant that dropshipping was now viable for anyone, not just large corporations. You can see more of its history by visiting the source for more information. Moving on to successful stories of dropshipping, we will discuss one particular successful one, and you can find more in the source cited. A person called Jackie Chow, with his business partner Albert Liu, launched a home decoration dropshipping site on Shopify while still working somewhere else. Chow, as a founder of SEO agency Indexy, and Albert as a freelance Facebook consultant. The outcome was impressive, going from negative $3,000 to $250,000 a month in 8 months at 30 to 40% margins, generating over $700,000 in revenue in less than a year. What are the key points of their success story? How did we get there? Well, they invested in product research and they were building a brand niche store. According to what they've said, having multiple products that appeal to the same customer will increase your AOV, or average order value, which is a formula for revenue divided by number of orders. It's definitely suggested to also invest in ads. You're paying for them to buy data, so Facebook and Google can optimize better. Be prepared to lose some money, but don't fret and take action. Words of wisdom, great advice, and straight to the point. So you are excited about dropshipping, perhaps. In everything, there are pros and cons to your action. So it's best to be made aware of them before deciding to jump right in. So what are they? Starting with the pros. Market for experimentation. There's no limit to what type of stock you can advertise. Of course, as long as they're legal. You're saving space too, since you're not storing the item. Low startup costs and maintaining the business. That's an obvious one. Location is flexible. It's your job to locate suppliers, so your job is to market the product and find a supply for the consumers. Wide variety of products, meaning you can adapt to the competition of other businesses that may be offering a variety of products too, or other dropshippers. So think about it, you're basically like an influencer, but for products on your own shop. You advertise it, you get the request, you find a supplier, you get the item sent, and boom, profit. So what's the disadvantage here? And that's where we move on to the cons. The tax from the supplier or website you're hosting on. For every transaction you're gonna get charged, so your profits are gonna be small. We could just say small profit margin. You can get lucky and sell those high value products and get a nice chunk, but regardless, you're still gonna get charged. You should have seen this one coming. Stock reliance. Because it's from suppliers, you have to make sure that you have some supplies set up and ready to distribute. When you receive an order, if you don't have it in stock, you've lost a profit. Simple as that. Competition. In any business, there's going to be competition, which this having a low barrier to entry, a lot of people will be in this kind of business. You really have to build a reputation that can build some customer trust. Remember the supplier reliance? If you're reliable, that's a start to building trust. God forbid if they try to shame you on social media or leave a review about your business if something goes wrong. Communication. Remember when I said that you need stock? Well, trying to obtain the information from the supplier about stock while receiving orders from consumers will take up your time to fulfill the orders. And if it goes wrong, then communication between you, the consumer, and the supplier really slows down, especially if it's just you running your e-commerce. And it's generally not good for business. It's obvious. Moving on. After discussing the pros and cons of dropshipping, you're obviously going to face some obstacles. So how can we step up to the challenge and make it happen? Here are some steps that you can take to make it work. First off, find out what's trending. Remember that success story. Do your market research. eBay, Facebook, Amazon, you name it. They present trending or related keywords for you when you search in the search bar or use Google Trends, that kind of thing. You want to be able to have a look at those related keywords. You want to find out what people are looking at. Once you find that, you have an idea of what you're going to pitch. Look for gaps in the market, like out of stock items or things that are like hard to obtain. We all get annoyed when we're missing out on some things. To fill that slot or to fill that demand will help plenty. Niche products, something that's difficult to obtain. As I mentioned, you want to look for the gaps in the market. Find suppliers. Get this covered first. This will be your revenue. Or you could join the Bezos team and set up an account on Amazon and do it through there. They are successful for a reason. They are a huge corporation. They are providing that guarantee. It's a win-win situation, but for a fee. Quality over quantity. You'll notice some products manufacturing is made in certain countries, and you can see that the product is potentially made with cheap material. You want to find a reputable supplier based on the product and follow through to satisfy the customer. The satisfied they are, the trust factor in your name becomes known. But most importantly, start. You need to start somewhere. Once you get started, you learn, because the best thing that will teach you is experience. And on that note, thank you so much for watching, and take care, everyone.